Let's consider Microsoft using the current transaction strategies in conjunction with ABCD strategies. And again, for the purpose of accuracy, I'll be using multiple strategies to analyze this Microsoft. I view it to a higher time frame, which is weekly, because this is stocks and is straightly for investors. As an investor, you consider higher time frame when you are analyzing your stock. This is US stock Microsoft. So we'll be using some strategies to analyze this stock. So let's first of all consider the current transaction. So when we are talking about current transaction, we'll be looking around these areas. Because this is the area that money begin to flow in. Do you get? And then when the retracement started, this is where the money begin to flow out. Let me show you. This is where money begin to flow out of the market. You get? So that is that. So we'll be considering these areas. This area, we call it current transactions, right? So in considering current transaction, we have to first of all mark our premiums and then our discount. So that is that. We have find out our current transaction. We have figured out our current transaction. So we focus around that areas. Now we'll bring in ABCD strategy. Now this is our ABCD strategy. Now let's mark this. Okay, so we are going to mark our discount as point A, because it's a bullish market. We are going to mark our discount as point A, and then our premium and then point B, right? And then we have our pivot point as point C here. Do you get? Our pivot point as point C. Like as I say, I'm going to be using multiple time frame to multiple strategy to analyze this market for the sake of accuracy. So let's take our trend line from point A to point B. Now we'll take our trend line from point A and then to point B. Point A to point B. Can you see? So now don't force the trend line. Make sure you don't force the trend line. Can you see? So now I'm going to explain some things to you. Can you see? We see an intersections between the trend line and then the point C here. So Microsoft still have a room to drop down, because we have some room around this place. Now Microsoft still have to drop down to this area before we initiate a buy. But where it is now, as an investor, you may decide to buy because you can't lose money. You only have a drawdown. But as for me, I always like snipe entering. I always like, when I enter market, let the market begin to go in my direction. So I prefer waiting for Microsoft to drop. Now, and we have a potential target point. In doing that, we are going to measure point A to point B and take the distance of point A to point B, which will give us point D. Can you see? So we have a potential target point at point D here.